All right, y'all. I was just making sure, man, we got everything rocking and rolling. Let's get this class started. Shalom Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Brakathum to all the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shamar Alathan Bahashem Yahweh Shai to all the sisters.
That's right.
This is the ISUPK, started at a 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana.
Right.
And since 1969, we've been teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans their true identity according to the Bible.
That's right.
And with that being said, let's get this thing rocking and rolling, right? So the title of the class is, Does God Care About Skin Color? Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out here shortly. And before we even tap into our first scriptures, man, let's just analyze what we're talking about right now, right? We're talking about skin color, right? So before we get to the humans, right, let's just look at the animal kingdom, right? If skin color, well, hold on. Society would tell you that skin color doesn't matter. And if skin color didn't matter, then how come we see in color? How come the Most High would just give us black and white vision, so then that way we wouldn't even have to see in color and things of that nature, right?
Right.
So when it comes to the animal kingdom, right, you have certain animals that have a certain fur color that helps with camouflage, right? So if skin color didn't matter, then he would just make everything bland and everything just like that. So when it comes to skin color, right, what society says is not necessarily what science says, right? Let me give you an example. Society will tell you that skin color does not matter, and yet science will tell you that skin color does matter because different skin colors affect people differently. For example, right, there is a video on YouTube, right? If you want to check it out, it's called How the Sun Sees Us. And pretty much what that is and what it's talking about, it's talking about UV light, right? And UV light, and that's pretty much how the sun sees us in UV light. So that's why you have certain ethnic groups applying suntan lotion, whether it be SP15, SP30, whatever it may be. And when you apply suntan lotion and put on, when suntan lotion is applied and you look through a UV lens, you will see how it looks on your skin through the UV lens, right? So when you apply it, normally, boom, 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 it's just like lotion. But when you throw on the UV lens, you will see how it looks on your skin once you apply it. And believe it or not, it looks like those army guys or the football players that put the black shoe shine stuff underneath their eyes and they go like this, boom, right. Or they got the 3 fingers, boom. It's right. Actually black when you look through it through a UV lens.
Right.
So skin color obviously matters from that perspective anyway, right? But yeah, man, we're gonna do it way more deeper to it. So when it comes to the human beings, right, they'll say skin color doesn't matter, but nature will tell you otherwise, right? So one thing that's natural is you have the sun. The sun is natural, and the sun radiates UV rays. And the darker the skin, the more able that the body is able to absorb these UV rays. And the lighter the skin, the harder it is to absorb these UV rays. That's why you will have white people will burn in the sun, and black people will absorb it and just get darker. That's because color obviously matters, right?
Right.
And as far as the Jewish man is concerned, over there in Israel, they're suffering from major skin cancer disease because you're actually trying to dwell in a land that doesn't belong to you, but it's actually scorching hot over there, which is obviously telling you that you don't belong, right? So that's just what it is. And then even with the nose, right, man, when you have a flat, broad nose, it's for the heat because you need to breathe in that oxygen. The more narrow or skinny is more in the cold because you don't want to take in too much cold air. So it tells you that they come from the mountains and we come from where closer to the equator where it's a little warmer at.
Right.
That's that. So, I mean, now that we got a little bit of what we're going to be diving into, man, we're going to show you in the scriptures how it actually matters in the scriptures. Mm-hmm. So the first scripture that I want to go to is going to be Jeremiah. I want to get Jeremiah 14:2. Jeremiah 14:2, right? So when we go into Jeremiah 14:2, we're going to tell you how color is in the Bible. And then we're going to get more into why it matters and if God cares about the skin color or not. Because most people tell you God doesn't see color. How the hell are we made it in God? How are we made in God's image and we see color, but he don't see color? That makes absolutely no sense, right? That I mean, come on. Oh, like go ahead, Adawar.
No, yeah, and it's so important to understand. Like when Christians say that God doesn't see color, you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When Christians say that color doesn't matter,
Mm-hmm.
we're all the same.
Mm-hmm.
They're proving why they are God's people and why the white man can never be God's people.
Oh, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because even though we have been so oppressed, so destroyed, and everything we've been through,
Mm-hmm.
we still refuse to turn our backs on anybody, even our own enemies. We turn our backs on each other. That's what our enemies want us to do. You see what I'm saying? That's what our leaders had taught us to do. You see what I'm saying? But God forbid we dare say that God sees color. God forbid we dare say that the white man can't be saved. The matter is, we're people who could care less about your skin color.
Man.
But the people that rule this earth, the people that's focused on making sure that we are destroyed and don't have a culture and keeping a foot on our necks, our skin color, more so our bloodline, is so important to them.
Oh,
You
God.
see what I'm saying? Because they know that our bloodline is important to God.
Oh, absolutely. Man, that's heavy, man, because it actually brings me to a story, right, man, where it was once upon a time where I was a Christian. I used to go to Greater Faith Baptist Church here in Las Vegas, Nevada, on the west side, actually in Winslow Park, for everybody who's from Vegas, right?
Right.
And the pastor name was Pastor Henry. He actually did my dad's eulogy when Pops passed away, but that's neither here nor there. But we're gonna talk about. I used to attend this church, and it's a Baptist church, and there was once upon a time where I felt like color didn't matter, and I was seeing things from the lens of from what society told me. And it's a sad story because I was truly ignorant, but it's a story about, man, where I didn't recognize color and didn't realize my true identity because of the pastor and because of the Christian community and the Christian church. But I remember, man, when I was in high school, man, there was a there was a Hispanic person.
Right.
And how do I say this correctly? I don't know what they call it now. I don't know, but back when I was around, man, we could call them midgets. Right? So he was a little person, but this little person, he was Hispanic, and he used to walk around with his chest out. And we used to shoot dice in the bathroom. And man, one of the hall monitors was the auntie to one of the homies that we used to shoot dice with in the bathroom. And she used to kind of like lace us like, hey, clean up the game. Woody Wop is coming. Get up out of there, clean up this and this and that, right? We shoot dice in the bathroom. And this little Mexican dude, his name was Hector. I ain't even gonna lie. I wasn't even gonna stall him out, but I'm gonna stall him out. Man, Hector, man, used to tell on niggas, homie. So me and Lil Briss, man, well, his name was Lil Chris, but man, we used to give each other, man, the B-shake back at high school, right? So me and Lil Briss, man, we like on the last day of school, we gonna pack him out. So right, man, this is me not seeing that they my people and just being indoctrinated by the Christian church and this and that. So at the time, man, I'm probably like maybe 6 foot now, 5'11". So at the time, I'm probably like 5'8", 5'9", but Hector got to be like 5'2", 5 foot.
Right.
So me and Lil Chris, it's the last day of school, right? It's the last day of school. Me and Chris devised this little plan to get him, and we do. Ain't no need to go into details, but it was. I just give a little bit, just a tad bit. Lil Briss was the run by him, buy his backpack, sling him on the ground, and then I take over from there. And yeah, whatever, right? So that's kind of what happened, more or less. That's what happened. When I look back on that, I realized that the Hispanic people and now the the care that I have for Hispanic people, I look back at those times and I feel like, damn, man, that was just super ignorant and man, just super uncalled for. But now I realize how much color does actually matter, because if I was informed then how I am now, that would have never taken place. I would have never been partaking in the things that I would have been partaking in. So, yeah, I mean, that's just absolutely heavy out on what you were saying, how, the color and how people view it and everything. So if we could, let me get that book, Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 2. Whenever you get it, if you could you read that for me?
This is the book of Jeremiah,
Sure.
chapter 14, beginning at verse 2.
Hold on, Salagia. Let me get there with you real quick. I should have already been there, but man, I got into the storytelling time, man. Man, we got a bunch more where that came from. But yeah, let's get it. Let's get it.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, beginning at verse 2. Judah mourneth.
Okay, there it is. Judah mourneth, right? So for everybody who doesn't know, Judah would be the fourth born son of Jacob, whose name was later changed to Israel after he wrestled with the angel, right? So you know how all right, so my old name is Reginald, but niggas call me Reggie because that's short for Reginald, just like Dick is short for Richard and Rob is short for Robert, on and so forth. Tommy, Tom, Bobby, Bob, on and so forth, right? So the word Jew comes from the word Judah, which would be the fourth born son of Israel.
That's right.
All right, go ahead. So hold on. So before you read, it says Judah mourneth. So Judah mourneth means that the blacks are mourning. The blacks are mourning. We're gonna break it down, man. We're gonna get into it. But go ahead.
And the gates thereof language.
Okay. What? Now we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes, right? The gates thereof language. When you think of a gate, what exactly is it that you think of, right? So let's just say you got you some property and you finna slap you up a gate. What would be the purpose of installing a gate? Of course, you wanted to encapsulate whatever property it is that you just purchased. But what else would it be that you would be actually installing the gate? I don't want to go ahead.
To separate and protect.
Oh, absolutely. They're spot on. To separate and to protect, right? So you enclosing what it is that is yours, and then to protect what is yours. And you protecting the inside from everything that's from the outside. So this is speaking about, so it says, Judah mourneth and the gates thereof language. The gates would be the protection that black people have nowadays.
Right.
Language is weak. The gates are weak that's supposed to be protecting black people.
Right.
Go ahead.
They are black into the ground.
They are black unto the ground, right? So blacks are my lokes. Blacks is the lokes. Black is the color of my shirt. Black is the color of the background that you see back there.
Right.
We really different shades of brown, right? Now, granted, we got some niggas that's crispy, and they get roasted when it comes time to the bagging sessions, man. When it comes to bagging, yeah. We'll get on the crispy niggas, but for the most part, they just a super dark brown. Ain't nobody really purple looking, except for the Hamites that got the rings in their lips and the things around their neck and yeah. They more or less purple than, they looking like, motor oil and things of that nature, right?
That's right.
So they are black into the ground, which means they are different shades of brown. Go ahead.
And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
There it is. Boom, hold on 2 seconds. So that's telling you right there. So Jeremiah 14:2 is telling you that black people are mourning and that our leaders are not leading us in the way that they're supposed to, and that they are different shades of brown.
Right.
To give it to you in a different context, so then that way you understand what it is that's actually being said in that scriptures. Go ahead, Adawan.
This is such an important scripture because we have to understand why Judah is mourning.
Okay.
Why the gates are language. Language means something that's normally strong to be weakened.
Kind
of like a sword that's wilted or a gate that's getting ready to fall.
Come on.
Which was said. See what I'm saying? And is you had something, young brother? Go ahead. Nah, it's all right, nephew. But what I was gonna say was the reason that the gates are languished is because everybody's trying to kill us. Everyone's beating down those gates. The things that we have to protect is being attacked. Black men in households. You see what I'm saying? That was attacked. You see what I'm saying? So now we're weaker. You see what I'm saying? Black men and women getting along. Oh, that's being attacked. So now our gates are weaker. Every single moral that we had to uphold our families to make sure that we could be safe. The camaraderie we had. You see what I'm saying? That was attacked. The Black Panther Party tore down. Now we have more protection.
Absolutely.
The Bloods and the Crips that was originally designed in order to protect the Black people in the communities from white people who wanted to do them harm.
That's right.
What did they do? They gave them drugs and they gave them guns so that we could kill each other.
That's right.
They spread lies throughout our neighborhoods so we could be against each other. All of these things made our gates language. All of these things weakened our gates. And it's something that's been going on for over 5,000 years.
Man.
It's something that's been going on since biblical times, not just here in America.
You
see what I'm saying? And it all dates back to what? Like the scripture says. They blacken to the ground. They're different than everybody else. They don't look and they don't conduct themselves the way everyone else conducts themselves. You see what I'm saying? But they're God's chosen people nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? So like, go ahead.
Oh man, I mean, what you're bringing out is absolutely heavy. I mean, astronomically heavy because, I mean, not only did Black people have to create Crips and Bloods which was originally an organization to protect its own, but even before that, if you want to go back to the 13 and the 1400s for slavery, they were stripped of their language. They were stripped of their language. They were stripped of their culture. They were stripped of their name. They were stripped of their identities. Like
That's right.
You can't name me another culture on this planet Earth that has suffered the things that Black people have suffered, right? At the hands of a government. Name me the government that attacked Chinese people. Name me the government that attacked Arab people. Name me the government that have attacked African people. Not in the same fashion in which they attacked the so-called Negro, the so-called colored man, the so-called African American. And to keep it 100, the term African American has only been around since the 80s. And Jesse Jackson, Mark Ass, gave that to us.
That's right.
Like, you name me another group of people that come from two different continents.
Right.
African and American. Man, look, so that means if a Jap is born in Africa, is he an African? Man, he still got the slanted eyes. He probably still frying up pit bulls and Rottweilers and tabby cats. You feel me? He probably still doing the same thing that he would be doing in Shanghai and Kawasaki and Mitsubishi. You feel me?
Right.
Them would be the same things that he would be doing over there. He just do it in Africa. He's still a Asian man. Go ahead, Adamar. Go ahead and lay it on.
What you said is so important. You know what I'm saying? You said you look at every other race of people, they're not attacked the way that we are attacked through our history. You see what I'm saying? Now, when they go to war with America, you know, when they go to war with the other nations surrounding them, sure, they might go to war, but they're not going to war to enslave one another.
Oh, not at all.
You see what I'm saying? They're not going to war to put one or the other beneath them in the way that they do us. They don't want the Chinese under their feet so they can build their societies and nations.
Oh, absolutely.
They want Blacks and Hispanics.
Absolutely.
To build their societies and nations. They see us as objects for labor. They don't see us as human beings that they need to fight against. They see us as the children who need to do what the hell they say. Why? Because they want to be God. You know what I'm saying? And we have to turn back to our true power, to our true God, and we don't want to continue to be victims of the colorism that's in America. You see what I'm saying?
Man, you just laid it on thick, man. That just brings me to another point. Well, I don't want to say it is absolutely factual, right? So, ain't it amazing how we at war with the Chinese right now, or currently not in good standing with the Chinese, but there is a Chinatown in every major city in America. We got a Chinatown here in Vegas, right? It's off It's off of Spring Mountain. And that mug go from that mug. I just dated myself low key. That mug go from basically from the strip damn near to Summerlin. It go to the tip of Spring Valley. After Spring Valley, it goes Summerlin. Before Summerlin, it goes Spring Valley. It go from Spring Valley all the way to the strip. To give you an idea, I don't know how it is on the East Coast. I had a partner, man, where we used to walk blocks, and the blocks would be like they super short, but the blocks here on the West Coast is way different. So to give you an idea, this is probably like from Summerlin to the strip is probably like about a 30 piece. It's about 30 blocks where you get straight Asian town. I'm talking about you got the massage parlors, you got the Asian furniture people, you got the you got the Asian mechanics, you have Asian cuisines, Asian supermarkets, anything Asian, you name it, and they got it, and it's Asia town. And do you think the police over there patrol it and Trump is beefing with these people at this very moment in time? Nah, man, they much rather be on the west side, Martin Luther King of Lake Mead, for people who are in Vegas who know. They much rather be in Northtown, where I hail from, like Cheyenne and Civic Center, Lake Mead and Eastern, Lake Mead and Eastern, you feel me? Lake Mead and Eastern, man, you got it on the east side where the Hispanics live, off of Nellis and Charleston, Nellis and Sahara, Nellis and Washington. Anything off of Nellis, all the way from basically Valley View to Boulder, which is chunky. I'm talking about that right there. It's super duper chunky. From Valley View, let me think. Screw Valley View. From Las Vegas Boulevard to Nellis to basically Nellis and Boulder, hey, that's about a good 50, 60 blocks. That's chunky. That's a chunky area. And police be over there thick. I ain't even gonna lie. You better avoid that area. If you're trying to avoid 12, avoid Nellis, avoid the north, and avoid the dub. And you will pretty much, man, you pretty much get away with what you need to get away with. If you, like, for example, man, if you ride around with no insurance, you want to avoid the Marys because they're gonna blurp you if they feel like, man, you know what I mean, man. If they just see you, they're gonna profile you immediately. But that's a chunky area, and it's weird that for us to be in war with China or to be in disagreement, so lock it. For us to be in disagreement with China, and you got a Chinatown from basically the tip of Spring Valley all the way to the strip, and you rarely see the police come. And man, you rarely see the police over there, and there's a Chinatown that sells every nook and cranny. Man, that's wild. That's wild as all outdoors. Which brings us to our next scripture, right? The next scripture that I want to bring out is right. I really want to let's bring out Christ, right? We're gonna milk scripture this thing out for the one time. Right? Go ahead.
Honestly, no, like everything that you was just saying is so real. Like I'm from Los Angeles.
Okay.
So like, you talk about Chinatown, you talk about the Asians in general, you talk about any of that. Like we know, but like I don't know if y'all know, you know, but like in the north in downtown LA, they have a little Tokyo, they got Chinatown and little Tokyo, then they have Koreatown, then they have, you know, every single individual sect of Moab, of Asia, they all get their own town. But in their town, in their little area, the police don't bother them as much as they don't bother us. I step foot in their area, they're gonna be on my ass. I mean, so they're gonna be on me immediately as soon as I step in the area. And then if it's an issue amongst their people, they get to solve their issues themselves in their towns. They don't need the police. The police not about to come to Little Tokyo and settle this between Lee and Han. They want to that shit themselves. They get a chance to sell it themselves. They don't have to have an adjudicator, anybody come through because the neighbor calling them and nah, stop. We already know what this is. This is XYZ. You already know what it is. Blah 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 blah. That's all in the downtown. When you turn around and you look at all of the nations of Israel, all 12 tribes in South Central and beyond, it's police gerrymandering, segregated, cutting off one people. Like we all want people making this people hate this people. This people hate this. We all want people making this. What I mean to say, and making this people hate this people. And it's as if I'm sitting here listening to you. So it's like, bro, they must have came together, conversation, and said, as long as y'all say, as long as y'all basically make sure that they don't win, they being us being the 12 tribes of Israel. As long as they don't win, we will allow you to have a certain level of just your own dish, your own level of governing yourself within this nation. Man, I'm just talking about my nation right now. I'm talking about all the other nations. I'm talking about one city at that. You're allowed to watch yourself. They're allowed to watch themselves while we have to be watched.
Oh, absolutely.
That's
absolutely. I know, man. The mother of my children, man, she hails from LA. So I mean, I don't really know too much about LA, but it was once upon a time, man, where I was in the world, and I was a street pharmacist. Right? Once upon a time. And no need to go into details, man. That'll be a different story from now. But man, she hailed from South Central, from the Hoover area. And while being a street pharmacist, I wasn't seeing eye to eye, or a bunch of people wasn't seeing eye to eye with me. So, for people who know, man, like iWarrior, Captain Godalhard, like I ended up having to shoot the fade with some people from Hoover. You feel me? And man, it just, and I mean, the police didn't get involved, but I could imagine if they didn't get involved, but they were around heavily to where they could have got involved. But because it was a sort of, I ain't gonna say in-house thing, it just didn't spill out the way that it could have. So man, niggas was on the gas, but niggas wasn't on the throttle, foot to the floor, what you want from the stove. You feel me? But we was definitely on the throttle. But I know what you're saying, that, had it would have been an Asian community, they wouldn't even, their presence wouldn't even have been there for them to even have to access them. They would have been able to manage it within themselves. But in other communities, they're already present, just patrolling, waiting for anything or profiling anything that look like anything where they can interact with. I absolutely understand. Absolutely understand, because there was a time where I was able to, I could relate to that and what you're saying, because I've experienced it firsthand, up close and personal, for sure. Right. So now that we've got Jeremiah 14:2, right? So just a little baby recap one time, right? So Jeremiah 14:2 is basically telling us about that that the gates languish, that they're being weakened because they're being attacked, and that they are black, which are different shades of brown, right? Guess who else is a different shade of brown? We're gonna go into it, right? We're gonna go into the book of Revelation. And before we slide into the book of Revelations, right? When you look into the word Revelations, right, we want to look into the root word of that. It means to reveal. When you reveal something, you are going to expose. You are going to get an outlook on exactly what's going on, right? So we want to go into Revelations, the book of revealing, chapter 1. Let me see what we got left. Let me see what we not want for the T9. We got, man, look, we're going to get Revelations 1. I want 1 and 14, but we're going to start at 1 and 13. We're going to start at the book of Revelations, chapter 9 and verse 13. When you get it, let me know when you got it, and man, we're going to make it happen.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, beginning at verse 13.
All right, let's do it. Oh, hold on. Let me get Revelations 1 and 1. Let's go ahead and chop him down from the beginning.
This is the book of Revelation, beginning at chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
Okay. The revelation. This is the revealing. We're about to expose of Jesus Christ. We about to bring it out. We about to make known. Go ahead.
Which God gave unto him
Mm-hmm.
to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
Okay. He said, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants. Notice how this is the New Testament. And it says, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants. Now, you would think that if God gave Christ to everybody, he would have made that absolutely blatant that it was for everybody. But for some reason, it wasn't. Go ahead.
And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
Okay, so now we know, right? So this is John's vision. So John is having a vision, right? Because he was sentenced to jail, like most Negroes in America, by Nero, who was the Caesar Nero. He was sentenced to the island of Patmos by Nero, who was the Caesar at the time.
Go ahead.
Right? So now you it's a lie, you're right. So right. Right. So man, so right, man. We're gonna put that in modern times, right? I don't know how old you is or man what you familiar with, right? But man, we're gonna give a familiar name with a what if scenario. So this is how we're gonna fandango this thing for the one time, right? So Judge Judy sentenced some niggas to jail. That's what's going on. So Nero's Judge Judy, this nigga's in jail, and he's a Negro, and that's what's going on. So now we got Judge Judy sentencing some Negroes to jail, and this nigga that she didn't send to jail then had a vision, right? Now, 2 through 12 just gives you a synopsis of what's about to happen. So now we're going to dive into the meat and potatoes right here, right? So now let me get verse 13. So this is Book of Revelations, chapter 1, verse 13. Now, mind you, this is a nigga that the judge has sent to jail, and he's giving you a vision while he's in jail. Let's get it.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 13.
Read.
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks.
What? The 7 candlesticks? Hey, look, most people don't even know what these 7 candlesticks stand for, right? That's the 7 churches of Asia Minor, right? Look that up if you need to get more into detail about it. But and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, which would be the 7 churches of Asia Minor, go ahead and read.
1, like to the Son of Man.
The Son of Man, right? I know it's a like it. I mean, man, this is heavy. The Son of Man. You don't even. The only time you hear the Son of Man is in the scriptures, right? Like, I don't even think I've ever heard that in slang in the nigga community where they say the Son of Man, because that's only associated with Christ.
That's right.
Like the Son of Man is Christ and where he comes from, right? There, I've never heard nobody even joke around about that, right? So now we got the 7 candlesticks, which represent Asia Minor, and then like unto the Son of Man, which is Christ. Go ahead.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot.
Read.
And girded about the path with a golden girdle.
Okay, so let's chop this down. Let's chop him down, man, before we move any further and get into before we get into the real deal Holyfield, right? So now it's talking about the 7 churches, and it's talking about Christ. Now it's talking about what Christ is rocking, right? So
that's right.
So Christ is dripped out, homie. He dripped. I'm talking about he dripped out. I'm talking about he got a garment on, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, a garment, man, you want to go to ISUPK and type in any city that you in and go to a campsite and see the garments that the brother is wearing, right? Christ got on one of those. On top of one of those garments that he's wearing, he has a golden belt around his stomach, his midsection. I'm talking about gold. And if it's Christ, We're not even talking about 10K, 14K, 18K. We just gonna just run with the max. We're gonna go with the 24K. He got the 24K belt around his stomach. So like, go ahead.
So like, I don't think people understand how insane that is. You know what I'm saying? A girdle. Anybody that wore a garment knows that the girdle damn near make a whole garment. Like that path that go around, that make a garment right there. That's what you need. You can have an amazing garment if your girdle ain't holding it down right.
Man, come on.
I can't even. I got some amazing girdles.
Come.
I cannot fathom a girdle made of pure gold. That's crazy. So like
that is. I'm talking about. Right, man. That's just like. I mean, man. Let's just bring it into today's society so people can relate what it is, because some people might not be understanding because you're not in the truth and you're not heavily saturated in what's going on in this community. So let me give it to you in some more street terms, right? You didn't hit an upscale mall in Vegas, man. You're gonna hit the fashion show, man. You're gonna hit the city center, man. You hit the Gucci. You got the Gucci shirt. You got the Fendi pants. You got the Louis Vuitton belt, and nigga, you got on some Skechers shoes.
Oh my God!
You just fuck everything up. The paps is the shoes. The belt is matching everything that's going on, and then it's a 24K. 24K? Come on, man. Look. He was wearing 24K 5,000 years ago. You won't even catch niggas rocking 24 karat gold right now. You won't. You won't even find that 24 karat, and he got a belt on. A chain is gonna be like, man, look, if we got a bar of gold, it's gonna be about a quarter piece of the bar of gold to make you a chain. He probably got like four bars of gold around his midsection. Salakia. Go ahead, Adawan.
It's right. And if I may, people don't realize this is what Christ is going to look like when he comes back.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? This is Christ coming. When he come down from the heaven, this is what he's going to be wearing. You know what I'm saying? This probably fourth dimensional gold. This 84 karat. Man. This is 84 karat gold.
84 karat gold. Man.
This is gold. This is the original gold. Like imagine the first gold.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? This is gold that probably did not come from. This is a whole other level. Right? You did this. He said, who knows how far away John was seeing this thing? He could see the path. He said he had gold around his belt. He probably was watching Christ in the mountains, but the gold shine so bright. He was like, that nigga had on gold around the path.
It was gleaming. I'm talking about what?
Can't be mistaken.
Man,
it's like, go ahead.
It's one of those things where, like, to that point, it's like, I don't know if he had future gold, past gold.
For real.
5 karat gold. He produces 24 karat gold on Earth.
Exactly.
He can produce, bruh. Like, so when I heard that verse, and also this post, this Silk Road, blah, blah, blah. Like, we're talking about the best of gold. And it's me, whatever, but like, you got a gold challenge or whatever. That's gold that has been like more or less cemented. It has been like hardened and all that.
Yeah,
I really feel like Christ walking around with gold that is literally as flowing as silk. That's sheer gold.
Man,
gold silk, because you're not gonna touch them no matter what. Like,
yeah, that's out.
So I need the breast. It didn't say a breastplate gold. It didn't say I girt
around the paps.
Man, it's crazy. Like, I just need to say that.
So for everybody don't know, right? Like, I'm a young jewelry connoisseur. You feel me? And you got 10, 14, 18, and then you got the 2-4. The difference between the two is how much other metals are added on to that. So when it comes to 2-4, that's pure gold. So let's just say you have a piece of taffy that's about 2 inches long and it was 2-4 gold. You could squeeze it and it would bend.
Right.
But the lower down you would go, let's say you got a piece of taffy, 10K gold, you squeeze it, and it wouldn't give because there's other metals mixed into it that won't give to the pressure that you're applying. But if it's 2-4, real gold is actually soft.
Right.
So if he got a belt made of 24 karat, that's wow. That is so much gold. And then he got it around his midsection. All right. So just to give you an idea, he got a garment on with gold around the patch. Let's read.
Verse 14.
Go ahead.
His head and his hair were white like wool.
Okay. His head and his hairs were white like wool, right? So now what we got is remember, the name of the class is Does God Care About Color?
Mm-hmm.
Why in the hell would we care about color? And it's given a vivid description as what's going on in here. It's obviously because they knew that things were going to be altered here in the future. We go ahead, Alwan. Oh, so we knew obviously that things was going to be altered here in the future, right? So we have the color and then we have the texture of what's going on, right? So we got his head and his hairs were white like wool. Go ahead. Oh, Salika, go ahead, Alwan.
If I may, and this is what people gotta understand.
Mm-hmm.
White people, black people, people in general, only say color doesn't matter because the ISUPK revealed in 1969 that they lied about what Christ did.
That's right. That's
the
right.
reason color all of a sudden doesn't matter. Prior to that, what signs did you see? No, what? Colors. A lot. This is the color section. This is the not color section. You see what I'm saying? But once people started to open their eyes and realize that you, what's the word? Framed the identity of Jesus Christ with Caesar Borgia. Now it's like, oh, what's color matter anyway?
Yeah.
Well, God made John write down what color was in the Bible.
Absolutely.
His entire description was written down in the most important book in history.
No.
It's only the number one selling book of all time on the planet Earth. And how can you tell me that the description of the greatest man ever walked the face of the planet is irrelevant? You don't have the authority to say such a thing. When God took notice and decided to specify Christ's hair texture, skin color, and drip. So that's this.
He laid it on thick. Go ahead, young man.
A lot of people that no, it really doesn't matter at all. But I went to theology school, like California Baptist University.
Okay.
Now, in one of my classes, we had to do an assignment where we had to go to Revelations 1:14, really just all of it, and basically draw. This was an assignment for credits. That $1,000 for the credit. The assignment was to draw Christ according to the scriptures. Now,
I'm actually curious.
The Bible gives us a very specific texture, color, eyes. It gives all of this perfectly lined out so that we, as his people, can get a visual. I was in class. I'm with a whole bunch of white people. For some reason, white people can't read. I didn't know white people couldn't read. Until then, white people, I'm sitting there in class. I am the only person that drew what was written in the scriptures.
Man.
I'm like, how are you drawing him with white skin? How are you drawing him with flowing hair? How are you drawing him white? How are you doing I'm just like, so y'all reading it. That's what now. I was like, okay, so y'all read it. You see exactly what it says. And then decide to interpret, make it fit you.
Yeah.
At the most, it's so clear you can't accept it in your spirit, so you would just do your own shit.
I mean, just completely. What you're saying is heavy, right? You're reading something and you're completely oblivious to actually what's being stated to you, right? So, right. I can't even name any white people that actually had an impact on society to where I would say if they made them black, would you care, right? Right. Because they've never really done anything that was worth any notability where black people want to stay chained. Because we actually did everything, right? I mean, they want to say that black people are, the black sticky shit at the bottom of the barrel, but it's like everything that we've created, they've managed to try to one up it, so to speak, right? Like for example, the black man created the stoplight. They create speeding tickets.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean, man? Like the black man built the house. You niggas want to create rent. The black man had the kids first. You want to make child support. Right. Like, god damn, like get off your high horse. Like, they say that the only thing that the white man has ever created was the patent office, and that was to steal the ideas of niggas. That's just the truth. The only thing they've ever created was the patent office, and that was just to steal the ideas of all the black people. But then they want to make it seem like that color doesn't matter. Man, like that's wild. That's wild. But yeah, that's so. Oh my goodness, you want to steal everything, and then when it comes to talk about who created it, it don't really matter. Even the refrigeration that we use for the grub in which we store our food was created by a nigga. And you want to tell us? Go ahead, Adawan.
Oh, no, sorry. I'll finish your point.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, even the refrigeration that was created by a nigga in which we store our food, which actually helps sustain society to preserve the food, even though a certain ethnic group is pesticiding the piss out of everything, we still have a way to try to preserve it in which any shape, way, form, or fashion that we can was created by a black man, but they'll say, our color doesn't matter. All right, you go ahead and, I mean, if you can sleep at night saying that, go ahead and sleep at night. But when the tables turn, we don't want to hear you switch sides.
Right.
Ain't gonna be none of that switching sides, ain't gonna be none of that jumping ship. We're gonna hold you to what it was that you were saying before. Go ahead, other one.
Yeah, if I may, like, man, what you're saying is so important. People have to realize the reason. But people have to hear the psychology behind that statement. Oh, it doesn't matter what color Christ was. Oh, it doesn't matter who invented this, what color they were. None of that matters. That is a direct attack on black people realizing that they are important and that they have done important things throughout history. They take away the confidence that you can have in your race, in your people. They take away the pride you can have in yourself, being who you are. Once they decide to say, it doesn't matter what race they were. Well, it doesn't matter. Why the hell is Superman and Batman and He-Man and every other so-called great man that y'all draw up looks like you? Why is it that I can't have a hero who looks like me? You want to know how you know that line? Because they lost their damn minds when they realized a black girl was going to play Ariel.
Oh my God!
They lose their minds when they realized a black Spider-Man could possibly outsell the white Spider-Man. They lose their minds. And we say this to say, I want everybody to understand the point is class is better teaching. The Task Force teaching an amazing class. Here in the ISUPK, we don't give a damn about color. We don't. The color means nothing.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, we know that Africans are black.
Come on.
Where are they God's chosen people? We understand that it is your bloodline that's relevant. The Lord didn't choose a color. God didn't choose a skin color. If he did, then Africans would be your brothers and sisters.
Absolutely.
Samoans and Hawaiians would be brothers and sisters.
Absolutely.
Skin, right?
Absolutely.
The Lord chose a bloodline. And he discarded every other bloodline.
What?
Now,
and we got that in the book of Second Esdras.
Come. When you're human, you're able to decipher the difference. You don't try to identify that bloodline.
Come on.
Looking at it through human eyes. And how can we identify it? Through the way we dress, through the way our hair is, through the way we talk, through the way our skin is here in America. That's why the white man created those signs saying no colors allowed. This is a color bathroom, this is a color family, things like that. That's the reason that once you start realizing that your color, you should have pride in it, then they try to take that pride away by saying now your color is irrelevant. It's all psychology because your enemy is smarter than you. And if you want to gain some wisdom, I suggest you tune in to Top of those classes on Tuesday.
I hear I don't want
classes on Wednesday and Thursday so that you can figure out how you can once again be relevant to life.
Go ahead, young man.
It's like a couple points that y'all, I don't want to let so much. I'm like, all right, you got, let me for a second, you got George Washington. What, I mean, really done for black people. Nothing. So they have 50 slaves. They didn't even know that came out later. George Washington Carver invented over 200 uses for the peanuts. For one thing, what black people come up with when a huge person comes across something, and the peanut was created by that. When we come across something that has any type of value into relevance, we're gonna multiply it tenfold, 20-fold. The Most High is blessing us. Like when we look at what is given to us by our enemies, it's tertiary, it's sedentary, it's nothing. It's basically what I'm saying. It's earthly, it's very, very, very earthly, but it's earthly mental as well.
Come.
You have to set some but like overall to like the point of like it doesn't matter. It's like if a white, basically my whole point is a white person be given the same opportunities as a black person to do less. That's really what I'm saying. If a white man was given the same opportunities to do anything with separating it from the Bible Center for everything, they come up with less. They will come up with a traffic ticket. They will come up with something to say that I'm here, that I am doing something, that I am part of the system. I am a part of what is happening here, but it's not contingent towards if they, in their words, society, and in their words, the world, bettering itself in any way, shape, or form.
Absolutely.
Like, they can't. The reason I brought up Russell Cover is because the only reason I know he did 200 shit not doing that is because white people made sure that I knew growing up in school that he did not do peanut though. He didn't do peanut though. He didn't do the main thing. He just doing something on the side of what the main thing is. But they couldn't produce even that.
Huh. I mean, so like it. I mean, even on top of that, right? Like he came up with so much stuff, and they felt that he was a threat that they castrated him. They did not want that man to reproduce because afraid of what he might be able to produce that would actually so like it. The water. They castrated a man who came up with over 200 patents for the peanut to keep him from having children but I mean, right? I mean, why wouldn't you want to give the color of the individual that created the type of stuff so we would know? Like, it's almost like they tried to destroy the innovative cognitive thinking part of the brain for black people because they know that if they could, they know and knew that if we would and could relate to past achievements in which we come from, that gang banging, selling drugs, pimping, hoeing, all that stuff wouldn't exist because there would be other things to strive for. Why would I want to be striving for those things when I could become great and have a legacy and have a representation of what it is that I stand for? They knew that if they promoted these things, that this is what black people will go for. Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and read on, man. We're gonna keep it on, man. We got a few more scriptures, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and read on. We are the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 14. So we have his head, and his hairs were like wool. So we got the color and the texture. Go ahead.
That's why that's snow.
Come.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
A flame of fire, right? This ain't no cartoon. This ain't fucking the blacks of his eyes look like a campfire at night, right? I want to say his first miracle was changing water to wine. Christ like to sit. He had niggas sweating them 24/7. Like, nigga, we get tired now and we don't do a fraction of what Christ did for the people. And nigga, we get tired and want to have a dream of some some LaFrog. You feel me? That's one of the general's
Right.
specialties. You feel me, man? We might want to have some Red Label Johnny Walker. You feel me?
That's
For the Instagram, man, we might want to have some 1940 Deuce. You feel me? Some of that, man, some of that Julio, man, some of that Pat, man, some of that Pat Ron. Some people call it Patron. Man, we might want to have some Pat Ron. We might want to have some 1942, whatever the case may be. But his eyes was red because he had a little something to drink, man. It wasn't because his eyes was a literal flame of fire and like he was looking into a campfire, but because he had a little something to drink. The whites of his eyes was a little red. Stressed out, he wanted a little drink. So like, go ahead, Adawan.
Also, as well, his eyes was also red as a flame of fire due to the rage he was feeling. Because he was coming back for a specific purpose.
Come on.
To let his people go. I pray you understand.
Come on.
And he's filled with so much fury. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They see the fury in his eyes. His eyes are a flame of fire. Have you ever seen a man that's hot? Yeah, I don't know if you know that term. You see what I'm saying? Oh man, he was hot.
I'm today.
He was hot. He has fire in his eyes.
Come on.
He ready to complete this mission. And he been sick. Ooh,
man.
This is a black man off the hitty.
What?
And he just heard his family. He got caught because his family has been being mistreated. And he was sipping hitty when he got that call. Ooh, wait.
Man,
now,
man.
On the deity level.
Oh, wait.
Come on. I'm trying to say.
Hey, man, man, look, off that drink, and then you talk about he been mistreated. Not to call you off, young man, but just real quick, he off that drink. He didn't got that call that his family been mistreated. Hey, man, look, he finna slide through that thing like. He finna slide through that thing, man, like easy and take care of business like a hot knife through butter, man. If you know, you know. But you know, man, when it's a hot knife through butter, he finna take care of business and he finna make sure that he get it done.
That's right.
Straight just like that. Lock it, young man. Shit, man. If you want to go ahead and add on to that, man, you could. If not,
I was just like, no, that is that. Well, I don't want to say that's a very powerful understanding of the Most High. Like to be righteously angry, to be fueled with fire, and to have the fire be seen in your eyes,
man.
When you're approaching an enemy, and to be the, I'm kind of like stepping outside of being in it, and it actually being John for a second, and it's seeing it from the perspective of John. It's like you would be happy, you would be. You don't even know what to feel like. Even if the nigga, if I got somebody mad fighting for me, and the situation is dire, and they're lit, and I'm not even lit right now, but they are mad and lit, and all of that. Even if I'm happy they fighting for me, I'm not gonna necessarily feel at ease or nothing of that. I'm gonna still see that, and I'm gonna still kind of like, like analyze. All right, let me, because it's kind of crazy right now. Let me chill, because it's getting a little crazy.
Man.
Crazy is the only word I have. Like, if you really understand, it's crazy.
Come, man, come, go ahead, Adawan.
And if I may, if you want, Barbara Shot, drop down to 17, because I'm gonna tell you exactly how he felt.
Come.
If you want to know how niggas felt, understand the Bible, whenever it's talking about a vision, not only is this John's perspective, but this is all of our perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that this is the perspective that we're gonna have when Christ comes back.
Oh, absolutely.
Everything that he's feeling is what we're gonna feel. You want to know how you're gonna feel when Christ comes back? Read 17, Barbara Shot.
Let's get it.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw him, and when I finally saw him face to face, I fell at his feet. I did what? I fell at his feet. Why? Was he just excited that his Savior was back? Was he just excited because, I went to every goddamn class. No, ISUPK told me to go to. I'm finally here. And you faking? No. Keep reading.
As dead.
As what?
As dead.
As what?
As dead.
He saw Christ's face. He saw the fury in his eyes. And guess what he remembered? He remembered every mistake he ever made in his life.
Hey.
He remembered that this is the time that Christ is going to collect debts. He thought about every ailment and every sin and every demon that he never beat. He thought about everything that he never accomplished. He thought of all his possible shortcomings. And he saw a man that was now daddy's home. I don't know if you ever been in the crib when you did something wrong and your dad came home. Ooh-wee. He fell on his face as dead. Kill me now. He didn't want to look him in the eye. He fell on his face. Keep reading.
I'm like, this is a man that knows Christ. He knows him.
Mm-hmm.
He actually knows him physically. Man, we did so many missions. We did went through so many runs. We did all of this together.
But guess what?
And that mean,
guess what? He never seen him like this.
He never seen this man.
The mood he was in, he ain't never seen him like this. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And he laid his right hand upon me.
He said, "Nah, you good. Get up. We got work to do. Go ahead."
Saying unto me, and this is written in red, Christ's word. Fear not.
Don't be scared. Hold on. Nah. You're not the one who needs to be afraid. Keep reading.
I am the first and the last.
It started with me, it's going to end with me. And it ends here. I'm the first and the last. I was here when humanity was created. I watched humanity as Melchizedek create their first mistakes. I came here as King Solomon. You see what I'm saying? I came here as all of these different people. You see what I'm saying? I died for y'all. We started a whole nother train of events. But guess what? It all ends here. It all ends here. I pray that you are somebody that Christ is going to say, fear not to. And not somebody that he's going to say, with the amount of fury that was in his heart and in his eyes. I pray that you do everything in your power, that when Christ cracked that sky, he going to look at you and say, fear not. Get up off the ground. And not say, I never knew you.
Man.
Because you were sinning behind closed doors and no one knew it. Because you were supporting Christianity and doing all manner of wickedness. Because you was an alcoholic who didn't want to get help. Because you were a whore in the streets. Because you didn't want to stop getting high. You didn't want to stop celebrating Christmas. You attended every Thanksgiving because you didn't want to break your grandmother's heart.
Lay it on thick, Ottawa.
You're a murderer. I mean, we could go on and on and on.
Oh, man.
What else did we do that we shouldn't be doing?
Man, you're a murderer, you're a drug dealer, a adulterer.
All those things. Christ is going to look you in the eyes and say, I never knew you. And all that fury, it's going to be for you and for the heathen. I pray you work hard enough to be you're going to be scared, pissless when Christ comes back. It's irrefutable. It's in the Bible. His servant saw him, who knew him personally, like the young man said, and fell on his face as dead. He was paralyzed with fear. Have you ever been paralyzed with? Do you remember that? He was paralyzed with fear when he looked in his eyes.
Come on.
Imagine, you know how much order we talk about? It's a trick going on about order. You know what I'm saying? It's like I ain't trying to take the class.
No. You good. So like,
but go ahead.
I've been paralyzed with fear, and I was paralyzed with fear on the wrong side. Can you imagine being paralyzed with fear on the right side, man? I remember. All right, quick story, real quick. I'm talking about two things, right?
You got it.
So we beefing with the Roller 60 Crips, right? And so like it.
That's so specific.
So like it. So we beefing, and I'm rolling with some partners of mine, and I need to get mom's car, and mom's probably watching this right now, but this is what it is, mom. I tell moms like, hey, look, I want to use the car to take my baby mom, of 18 years out, I want to take her to the movies. She like, cool, you can take the car. When I get the wheels, I go scoop the bros. We go pull up on a scene in which where we know they're gonna be at, right? We pull up where they're gonna be at. Hellfire rings loose. The car that I'm hiding behind is Swiss cheesed. Nigga, you talk about standing up, legs shaking, heart pounding, hands moist, not knowing which way to go. Like, how in the did I make it through this? And that was through some woody pool, not knowing what's going on. We pull up to the scene, we see what's going on, who it is that's there, and they let hellfire rain down. And I'm talking about petrified. And that's on some, nigga, you silly, stupid shit. Can you imagine coming back and a nigga correcting your wrongs and telling you that every time that you knew that you was wrong and you still decided to do it? And that's going to be 10 times worse than that. That's going to be 10 times worse than that. So I absolutely can relate to the fact that if you're doing it on the wrong side, when Christ come back and you have no rebuttal for what it is that he say that he bring forth to the table, you're going to piss on yourself and probably not even realize that you done pissed on yourself. You're not even going to know until you look down like, damn, my bladder is empty. Man. And you got it coming. So like it. Go ahead, out of one.
Nah, go ahead.
Go ahead, young man.
It's like this moment of him dropping to his knees. It's like when you see the authority figure, it's like the equivalent of like when a nigga see police, when the police come in, just like, bro, you're detained, you're in jail. What you gonna do? You gonna fight, or you about to just it's done? I want the authority figure is here, bro. You're going to bow down. You're not gonna do stuff. We here in America, we do that for the police and media. We immediately do it when we recognize the authority figure is in our presence. Now, when the highest authority figure is in our presence, what do you do? And what does a man do? A righteous man do? He immediately folded. I'm not even. Like like it's insane if you want.
Come. So man, so now that we got that, so we had dropped down to 17, and that's just to give you an idea of what it's like to overlook. Now we're gonna be at Revelations 1 and 15. So we know 14, his hair and his head was white. Por favor, gracias, mi amigo, mi carnal.
Man, right.
Did you feel me? Man. So now we have Revelations 1 and 15, right? So now we know 14 gives us the color and the texture of the hair. Now we're going to get skin color, right? Mind you, the class is, does God care about skin color? Well, we're about to see, right? If skin color didn't matter, then it shouldn't be given in this verse, as it's referring to the revelation of what Christ actually looked like, right? So now we got Revelations 1 and 15. When you get it, let me know, Baba Kashab.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 15.
Read.
And his feet like to fine brass.
Okay, what? Fine brass. You want to know if fine brass is? What, man? What year we in? We in 2025?
That's right.
I'm pretty sure they have 2026 pennies in circulation, considering that we closing it to the end of the year. You look how shiny that mofo is. Fine brass is the color of a penny. A 2026 penny that's glistening. A glistening 2026 penny is like a fine brass. Go ahead.
As if they burned in a furnace.
Okay. So now you got a penny and you got some pliers and you holding the penny over the flame on your gas stove over that fire. And you hold it and you hold it and you hold it until it actually burns. Look, I don't give a once you burn. You burn some toast, you burn some skin, you burn some toast, whatever the case may be, you burn, it turns black. It turns black. So that means that Christ looked like motor oil, a turned off TV, aka a nigga. Christ is crispy. There is no way to mistake him for the vision that you see for Caesar Borgia, which is the son of a pope that was wicked. There is no, he didn't look like that. Christ was a nigga. He, plain and simple. He got woolly hair and he is dark as hell with red eyes. So this is the nigga that liked to drink because he's stressed out, and he has an afro that's white because you're stressing him the hell out. So Lakia, go ahead, Adawan.
And I don't know if you heard what you just said. But I'm sure any Caucasian male or female watching this is so stressed out right now.
Oh my goodness.
You just said you're a nigga with an afro who likes to drink. Ooh, that's the worst thing that they've ever heard. That's the worst thing.
Come.
There's nothing more terrible that you can describe to me.
Man.
That's the reason that you are hated here in America, man. You see what I'm saying? Give me if you don't mind talking.
Oh, absolutely not.
Give me where it says he shall be hated by all men. That's in 1 John.
Come on. Like, give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. We're gonna make it
Yeah,
happen.
man, grab it.
Okay.
That's Matthew. So like, give me Matthew 10:22. But this is the point. You see what I'm saying? Is it about the skin? Is it about the fact that you're black? Is it about the fact that you have hair on your head that's nappy? Is it about the fact that of any of those things? No. We're gonna find out what it's about right here. We're gonna find out what it's about right here in the Bible. Why do they hate you? Why do they want you to be their slave? Why do they want to take your life, even though you're just trying to live?
I'm talking
Why
about.
are they just opposite of everything that you do? Read it.
And this is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, beginning at verse 22.
Let's get
and
it.
He shall be hated of all men.
You shall be what?
Hated of all men.
What color is this? Let me see.
So lock it.
Oh, and this is the word of Christ written in red. And he shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
For what?
For my name's sake.
For what?
For my name's sake.
That's the problem here in America. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian. That's the reason that they want to take your life. That's the reason that your babies are in cages, your daughters are getting stolen off those reservations, and your sons are being gunned down in the streets. If you ever wonder, read that from the top.
Come, man, so like it.
Shall be what? And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
For who?
For my name's sake.
Jesus Christ said, this is why they hate you. Because you are from the bloodline of me.
So come.
So like you go.
Salakia. Oh my goonies. This is crazy, one time. This is written in red. This is Christ speaking. When it's written in red, realize that niggas have their ears open.
That's right.
It's written in red. We got Matthew chapter 10 and verse 22. And it says, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. So because you say that I'm a nigga, because you say that I got an afro, because you say that I have red eyes, and because you say that I sprang out of the tribe of Judah, all men will hate you. So now when you confess this to the world, you got Christ already reassuring you, like, look, nigga, I knew this was going to happen. Run with it, and they will get ran over later. Do not bend, do not fold, do not give. Stand 10 toes down and say what it is that needs to be said, and realize that you will be hated for my name's sake. Have you ever, man, look. Man, we're going to take this to the world one time. Be hated for my name's sake. I don't know about anybody else, right? I don't know about anybody else, but But I know for my namesake, back in the day, I was the I don't know. I was the nigga that was known for getting that fifi. I was known for the nigga that was cracking at the bitches and this and this and that. And because when we got out of school, moms was at work, my spot was the kicking spot. So you could tell the fifi like, hey, look, we finna go to Wooty Wop spot and everything gonna be good. I was known for that. Obviously on the left-hand side, we want to be on the right-hand side. But this is what it is. He said for his name's sake, he's known for righteousness and correcting all the wrongs. And once you correct all the wrongs, you know that you're going to be hated for his name's sake. This is sort of the same. This ain't even sort of the same thing. I was known for some wicked shit. Christ is known for some extra righteousness. And for his sake, you will be hated. But he that endureth to the end shall be saved. This is written in red. This is Christ speaking to the people who want to confess the truth. And the truth is only coming from the ISUPK under Commanding General Johanna. Since when? 1969. Where? Harlem, New York. What streets in Harlem, New York? One West 125th Street in Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Johanna. And he's been teaching this since 1969. There is no the water. You have absolutely no excuse to not be in the truth, or at least be exposed to somewhat of what the truth is being said for you to pick your side. Christ has been saying this since 2,000 years ago. You got General Johanna doing this since 1969. Now you got all the generals that's reinforcing everything. They give scripture breakdowns on Monday that go into vivid detail as to what's going on in today's society. There's no way to run around. There's absolutely no way to run around. If we can get the book of Revelation. Hold on, let me just check it out for the one time. We got 1 and 14. Let me see where that was on. Okay, we got 1 and 15, and his feet were like unto fine brass. If you don't mind, Revelations chapter 1 and 15 after fine brass. If you could, Baba Kashal, when you get it.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 15. Chapter 1, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Go ahead.
As if they burn in a furnace.
What?
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
Man, look. You know what's crazy? Right. If you look at the pictures of the white Christ, he don't look like he had the voice of many waters, right? Like, I ain't even gonna front you, right? I got a little 4-year-old boy, right? And when I run this nigga bathwater, this is simply bathwater. I throw the little plug in the drain, I crack up the heat. He let me know, like, hey, daddy, it's too hot. Nigga, throw it on the coal. But when the water is splashing into like maybe 2 or 3 inches into water, you can barely hear this nigga. He'd be like, daddy, it's too hot, or daddy, it's too cold. I'm like, what? Like, nigga, sit down and be quiet and let daddy shoot you a bath real quick for the one time.
Right.
Running waters. Can you imagine a waterfall with tens and thousands of gallons coming down? Like, that is the voice in which he spoke in. If you look at the picture of the Christ with the blonde hair and blue eyes, and he got the long hair looking like a fruit basket, he don't even look like he would sound like running waters. He looked like how a fruit basket would talk, right? Right? I mean, completely off subject, right? I mean, man, we're gonna double right B-Mac, but then we're gonna come right back to it, right? When you think about fruitcake or a fruit basket, right? You know it's wrong, not only through science and the scriptures, but let's just go through the wording, right? Right. Check me out for the one time, right? We're going to get into the isms and the phobia, right? When it comes to the isms, if you black, you know what I'm talking about. The ism is either in you or it's on you, right? When I say the isms, let me give you an example of an ism. An ism is something in which a pimp would say, right? So let me just give you a quick example of an ism. This is the ism. Let me see. We're gonna run with the okay, here we go right now. Off the top of the pre-name for the one time for the quick for the isms. Don't you hate when the motherfucker talk shit? But I could give a piece of tissue to what a turd say because my wordplay should have been heard twice in the first motherfucking place.
Right.
The world is mad because they can't take what I make when I create, and it ain't because I'm new to this, I'm true to this since the mother trucking uterus. You feel me? That's the income. That's in me. I do this. You feel me? And if you ain't heard of me, then if you don't know, now you know. And if the shoe fit, wear it. You feel me? So, man, if the shoe fit, wear it. Well, I got my chick at a roof, Chris, and we ordered it. It's just like that, right? So that's the ism. The ism is something, some niggas think the ism is on them. Some niggas is clean as a Section 8 apartment during an inspection, but the ism ain't in them, right? The ism has to be in you and not on you, right? So when you have an ism and you have a phobia, this is the difference between the ism and the phobia, right? Ism is racism, class. So racism is when one group of people don't like another. Classism is when the rich don't like the poor. And then when you have a phobia, right? So everything is the ism until you get to phobias, right? So when you get to homophobia, that means that you have a fear, right? So I ended up doing, so you have isms, you have classism, you have racism, and those are just two classes against each other, right? But then when we type in phobia, right? So we're gonna go define phobia, and we're gonna go Merriam-Webster, right? So when we go to a Merriam-Webster, right, a phobia is an exaggerated and often disabling fear, usually inexplicably and subject to having sometimes a logical but unusual or illogical symbolic object, class or object or situation. All right, so let me give it to you in layman's terms, right? This is something, a phobia is something that you have a fear of that you probably shouldn't have a fear of, right? So let me give you an example. I don't know if y'all know, but you have Little Richard. Little Richard was a singer in the 1950s and the 60s that sang Rubber Ducky or My Rubber Duck. He was a homosexual. To say that I have a homophobia would mean that I fear Little Richard. Why in the hell would I feel Little Richard? I like, nigga, what? Fear him? Like, for what? Like, he's a cake. He's cake batter, wet bread. Like, he's sweeter than cotton candy dipped in Skittles. Like, why would I have a fear of anything like that? There's no fear of another human being when the only man that you should fear is the Most High. That's right. There is no fear that I should have. So when you have isms and phobias, that is completely, that just tells you that homosexuality is wrong when it comes to isms, which is classism, racism, and phobias. I say that because when you read the scriptures, people have a fear of Christ because he speaks the truth, and that is racism.
Right.
It's not a phobia. A phobia is a fear. Racism is just the absolute against being that in which it would really in what it really is. That's why I say all of that, right?
That's right.
Boom. So let me get where we at real quick. Hold on. We was at what? Revelations 1 and 15. Come on. So let's we already finished up. So his feet is to fine brass. Brass is like the color of a penny, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. And his voice sounded of many waters. There's no way that vision that we see of the white Christ, his voice sounds of many waters, because we know that image is actually of a son who was of a pope, which would pump no fear, which would be a phobia. There's no phobia of that picture. Now, if you had a picture of a person with red eyes, an afro, looking like he came to do business, that would be a fear. You'd be like, man, a nigga is not really trying to get on his wrong side. But when you got a nigga with the hair all long and the eyes blue, and he looking like, I ain't really tripping, you'd be like, man, we ain't worried about this nigga. But if you got a nigga with an afro, with a sword, with a little bit of blood dripping off that thing, you like, man, look, to keep from getting on this nigga bad side, let me get right with the get right, which is grace. Grace is the opportunity to get right, which does end, right? So now that we got that, man, we finna get into another scripture, right? We finna get into let me get Acts chapter 13 and verse 1, right? So now that we not only got the description of Christ, which is a nigga that's brown, that's been burnt in a furnace, his hair looked like white carpet, and his eyes is as if a nigga who sipped on wine from time to time from being stressed, right? So that's actually what Christ looked like.
That's right.
Now we finna see what the niggas who follow Christ look like, right? We finna see what the niggas who actually follow Christ actually look like. So this is, right? So now so that was Revelation. This is Acts. We still in the New Testament. This ain't the Old Testament. This is the niggas that actually follow Christ. This is the book of Acts, chapter 13 and verse 1. Let's run it. Oh, so like it. Yep. Let's get it. When you got it, let's run it.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 13, beginning at verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon.
Okay, well, we're going to stop at the there one time, right? So we in the church that was in Antioch, certain prophets. We only assert prophets to Christ. Yeah, right. Hey, nigga, hold on, Salakia. There was at no point in time in history where you can tell me that prophets existed other than with Christ.
That's right.
There was no prophets nowhere other than that. So when we say prophets, you only know to associate it with Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Otherwise, prove me wrong. I'll give everybody in the comment section 5 seconds to prove me wrong that you hear the word prophets other than with Christ. I don't care what type of following you have. Christ had 12 prophets. Niggas nowadays got 2-3 million followers and none of them prophets. You name me a person who had prophets other than Christ. I give y'all 5 seconds and we're going to hit you with your jeopardy. What we got in the comments? Nothing. That's as I thought. Y'all don't want them problems. Y'all really don't want them problems, right? So prophets is associated with Christ, right? So now we know that there were in the church that was in Antioch certain prophets and teachers. So prophets and teachers, right? So these are the prophets that ran with Christ, and they were teachers that taught what Christ said. So like it, go ahead, young man.
No, yeah, I'm trying to understand what a prophet is.
Okay. So lock it. Let's go ahead and get it. We're going to get a prophet, right? P. Oh, so lock it. Go ahead, Ottawa.
I was like, you want to answer?
Ottawa, you go ahead and handle it, man. You could definitely handle it a whole lot better than me.
Prophet is anybody ordained by God to speak the word of God, and they get visions from God. You know what I'm saying? The Lord gives them visions of the future. That's a prophet. They can speak about things that's going to happen. They can tell you what God is going to do. That's what a prophet is. A prophet is anybody that can tell you what God is going to do for a fact that has not happened yet. That's how you know what a prophet is.
And then to further validate that, we got the definition of the word prophet: a person regarded as an inspired teacher or proclaimer of the will of God, which only the ISUPK does. Go ahead, young man.
So are we? I'm trying to understand exactly what we're saying. Is Daniel a prophet? Because he told Daniel a prophet, and because he's speaking of the Messiah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I understand.
No one, if I may, there's never been a prophet that didn't speak about Christ.
Come on.
It doesn't exist.
Like, yeah.
Every prophet is talking about what's going to happen in the end time. One day, these people are going to pay, and these people are going to be on top, and there's going to be someone who makes it happen. Whether it's the prophets before Christ, during the time of Christ, or after, which is the ISUPK and the command.
That's right.
We are pointing to the same person in the heavens. We are pointing to him. A black man by the name of Jesus Christ, who's going to come down from the heavens and exact his revenge on the people that have cost us not just 400 years, but we yell about 400 years. Imagine Christ being mad about
2 bands,
2,000 years,
2 stipes,
and that's what he's coming for revenge on. It's black people right now. I mean, we can't get over basic grievances from 2 years ago. Can you imagine a nigga holding a grudge
from 2,000 years, 2 stipes?
He has grievances from this lifetime and the one before that and the one before that.
Man,
imagine if you have over grievance that you experienced last month, and times that by 2,000 years. That's how angry Christ is.
That is extremely heavily took. There was been times when I was in the world where stuff happened where I couldn't let it go until I came into the truth of 90 days. Can you imagine 2,000 years of just tallying up? Boom, 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 4 slash 1, 2, 3, 4 slash. Boy, can you imagine the anger of that individual where it's like, in the world, it's just one incident. You have multiple incidents that occur and occur and occur and occur again, and you have somebody standing on the right-hand side like, that ain't right. And then the people that were right, and then the crazy part that's about this, right, is the people that are creating these grievances are not oblivious to the things that they're doing.
Right.
So it's almost like, you're doing wrong. You know you're doing wrong because you know what you're doing. And it's like, you want me to give you a pass because you want to play oblivious? Psych. We ain't even gonna play them games. We ain't even, man, look, ain't no I'll cross that bridge when we get there. We already at the bridge. We already here. We know what it is. You can play crazy. You can play deaf, dumb, and blind. But look, we know what it is. And I'm going to hold you accountable from the time in which it was occurring. Come on. So like it. So let's go ahead and read it. So we asked at 13:1. So it's certain prophets and teachers. Go ahead.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 13, beginning at verse 1. So there were in the church that was an Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon.
Okay.
That was called Niger.
What? So they're gonna tell you Niger. They're gonna tell you Niger, right? They're gonna tell you Niger. They're gonna say Niger, this and this and that. Oh, this is a country in Africa. Get the Blue Letter Bible and hear them say the word Niger. Don't sound the same. It's gonna say nigger, right? But even when you want to use the word Niger, it just means the word black. So now you have certain prophets that were Barnabas and Simeon that were called black.
That's right.
But color doesn't matter. Well, why tell us that these motherfuckers of us to lock you? But why tell us that these individuals were black? Why, if color didn't matter? It would just be, hey, these people taught the word, and this is what it is. It wouldn't be no need to describe that they like right, and this is the sickening part, right? This is the meat and the T-bone steak of this. They themselves didn't call themselves Niger. This is somebody else calling them Niger. Why would the other people feel the need to call them Niger? If color didn't matter, they not calling themselves black. This is another race, ethnic group of people calling them black. Why? If color didn't matter. If color didn't matter, don't you think that people at this time would have known what Christ was saying? Or if wouldn't Christ have made it known to them that color didn't matter? But here it is. Yet you have these people saying that they called them Niger, which is Barnabas and Simeon, in which they call Niger. It wouldn't have mattered if color didn't matter. Why would we call them Niger? Especially when Niger has a context of the word black. So you had two prophets, which they call black, if you want to break it down to today's society. Followers of Christ, Barnabas and Niger. Right? We're gonna keep it going, man. We gotta. Oh, so like, go ahead.
And just add on before we move on.
Come.
Lucius of Cyrene. Cyrene is in northern Africa.
Mm-hmm.
This is a black man. So you call it, he's not an African man, he's also black. In this verse, he's naming off dark-skinned people.
Come. Absolutely. Right? So I mean, man, this whole time that we've been thugging through these scriptures, right? We've been running through color in the Bible, right? We had that the black people leaders have languished and that they are blackened to the ground. We have the color of Christ. We had the color of the people that follow Christ. And now, right, man, we finna get just a smeagol bit deeper, right? We got the book of Job, right? Boom. The book of Job. Hold on. Before we get the book of Job, Yeah. So now that we got the book of Job, right? So I really want the book of Job 30 and 30, right? That's what I want. That's the meat and potato. But before we go there, we have to give you context so you know what's going on before we slide to the book of Job verses 30 and 30. So let me get the book of Job. So everything that I gave you prior to this was the New Testament. Now we're going to show you. Normally, a nigga give you the Old Testament and then verify with the New Testament. I gave you New Testament. Now we're going to verify with the Old Testament to show you that there's absolutely no difference between the two. I gave you New. Now we're going to swing back to the Old, right? Let me get the book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 1. When you get it, read Baba Kashab.
This is the book of Job, chapter 1, beginning at verse 1.
Okay.
There was a man in the land of Uz.
Okay, so we got Job. They tell you where his crib was at. He's residing in the land of Uz. Go ahead.
Whose name was Job.
Okay, they shoot you his name and where he living at. Go ahead.
And that man was perfect and upright.
What? That man was perfect. But you let the Christians tell it, Christ was the only man that was perfect, and this and that.
Right.
So Job wasn't perfect?
Right.
I mean, either we're gonna call the scriptures a lie, or we're gonna call the pastors a lie. The pastors say Christ was the only man that was perfect, which is Bologna, aka baloney. But if you spell it, it's Bologna. The pastors are speaking Bologna because the book of Job reads, go ahead from the top.
There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job. And that man was perfect and upright.
Read.
And one that feared God. And eschewed evil.
Hey man, look, check me out for the one time. They made it absolutely undeniable that Job was perfect and he despised evil. Right? He despised evil, he was upright and feared God. And with those three things, they also gave him the accolade of which, and he was perfect. But if you let the Christian church tell it, they will tell you that Christ was the only man that was perfect. So like it. Go ahead, Adawan.
If I may,
Go ahead.
I think Christianity is such a poison.
Man.
People don't realize how powerful the poison of Christianity is.
Like a venom.
You know what I'm saying? Because they will make it. Christianity's entire job, the entire reason Christianity was created was to make you believe that you can never be perfect.
Oh my goodness.
You can never please God.
What?
You can never be someone that God appreciates. That person is gone, and all you can ever be is a failure.
What?
You're a failure, and I'm a failure. Everyone around you will always be a failure. You know what that does to someone on a psychotic level? You know what that does to somebody's mental state of being?
Man.
And you can research this yourself. It makes them depressed. That's what it does. I researched this many times. When you tell somebody that they can't be better, when you tell somebody that they are flawed and they have no hope of not being flawed, they suffer from depression and anxiety. You know what they do? They become violent people.
Oh, absolutely.
Because what does it matter?
Because
what, nigga, you think you're better than me?
No. You can't result to better than me.
Right? I don't need to be better than I am. I don't need to not be a crack shot. I don't need to try to make it out the hood. I don't need to do any of those things. You wanna know why?
Absolutely.
Because nobody's perfect. This is the definition of perfect. This is the definition of perfect right here. Finished, complete, consummate, not defective, having all that is requisite to its nature and kind.
What?
The scripture says to be perfect. You know what else the scripture say? I was like, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say to fully validate what it is that you bring to the forefront. If I could I get the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 48? Right? Let's just say that, right? Let's just say we're gonna run from a Christian's perspective, right? Let's just say, we don't know if Job was really perfect, right? Well, we're gonna hear what Christ said in the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 48. Let's just see what Christ says in the book of chapter 5, the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 48. When you get it, let me know when you got it.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, beginning at verse 48. And it says, written in red, this is Christ's word.
Okay, let's get it.
Be ye therefore perfect.
What?
Even as your Father, which is in heaven, is perfect.
It says, be ye somewhat.
Be ye therefore perfect.
Be ye half-stepping.
Be ye therefore perfect.
Be ye, I think about it, and I'm living in grace, and when it comes to me, I make it happen.
Be ye therefore perfect.
Man, this is Christ in red. Matthew 5, chapter verse 48. If Christ was saying that you couldn't, if there was the only person that could be perfect was Christ, why would he be giving the order of saying, hey, look, You can do it too. Be ye
That's right.
perfect. Therefore, be ye therefore perfect. The water out of one. Go ahead. Be ye therefore perfect.
Even as your Father, which is in heaven, is perfect.
Man, look, that's why Job is considered perfect, because Christ is given the commandment.
That's right.
Be ye there perfect as your Father is in heaven is perfect. Go ahead. Okay, so now we're about to go ahead and wrap it up. We're finna go back to Job 1:1. We're finna go Job 30 and 30.
30.
Yeah. So let's get the book of Job, chapter 30 and verse 30.
This is the book of Job, chapter 30, beginning at verse 30.
Mm-hmm.
My skin is black upon me.
What? So look. At this point, Job is going through some curses. And his wife has told him at this point, like, look, man, look, you're going through this and that. Don't you just curse God and die? And this is Job saying, look, can't do that. My skin is black upon me. This is just a further validation of saying, look, I'm a black man and I'm going through it, and I will not curse because I've been considered a perfect man, and that I know that what I'm going through is worth it. There it is. So, like, go ahead, Adawan.
Man, the way you just worded that was so good.
Oh, so
You said, he said, I've been considered a perfect man. My skin is black upon me.
what?
That means I'm perfect. That means I'm beautiful. That means I'm righteous in the eyes of God. Everything I'm supposed to do, my skin is black upon me.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing that you just said.
Oh,
Because
God.
our enemies will tell us that black, even when we look up in the dictionary, is negative, dirty, plagued, flawed, all of those different things. You see what I'm saying? Job said, hold on. In the eyes of God, I did all of this. My skin is black. He said it's a positive thing.
Huh?
You see what I'm saying? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Man, you good. I don't want, man. So look, now that we got that right, man, we put throw the icing on the cake, and before we slide any slices of the cake and throwing the icing on there, let me get the book of Daniel. I need chapter 7, verse 9. Right? This is the icing, right? So since we've been holding class, right, we got the image of Christ. We got the image of individuals that ran with Christ. And not only the prophets that ran with him, but then we got the book of Job, who gives you a vivid description of what he looked like, right? So now let's start the icing on the cake, right? We got the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9, right? So now this ain't Christ, this ain't Job, this ain't the apostles. This is the Most High God. This is who sent down Christ. This is the man of man in the book of Exodus, I believe. This is the Alpha and the Omega.
Right.
Let him give you a vivid description of what it is that's what's going on. Let me get the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9. When you get it, let's read.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7, beginning at verse 9.
Let's get it.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down.
Okay.
And the Ancient of Days did sit.
Whoa. Pump the Britnex, baby. I'm a car enthusiast. I love cars. If you got a 6-piston caliber Brembo brakes, nigga, you come to a stall fast. We finna hit them Brembo brakes quick. You feel me? Brembo brake that thing. It says the Ancient of Days sit. Man, if you look, listen. There is no other book or where, period, blank. Man, look, I'm getting tongue-tied. Point blank, period. There is no other place where you would find the Ancient of Days sit. The Ancient of Days sit has to be no other than the Most High. We're not even going to debate that. There was no discussion about that. That is clear, cut, and dry. How you say 2 + 2 is 4 is just like the Ancient of Days sit. That is the Most High. Read. You good.
And the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow.
Whose garment, which means he has a body. Casper, when you watch the movie, didn't have on no clothes. Casper, the movie, I don't know how old you is, but I remember the Casper movie. He had two uncles. The two uncles, they used to run around scaring people in the warehouse. You had, they didn't have on no clothes. The Ancient of Days did sit. He had on the garment, which means he had on gear. More than likely, he probably had on 24 karat gold, everything. But, you know, that's for another subject here and there. Go ahead and read.
Whose garment? White snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool.
Pure wool. A sheep has hair like wool. If you a nigga, right? I don't know if anybody who's in tune with it, but when you have, there's different type of textures of hair, right? When it says wool, wool will be considered 4C hair. You get on YouTube and you type in 4C hair, you hit that hair with some water and that shit shrivel up like carpet. What the carpet look like when you hit it with the vacuum and you go up and down and it leaves that line, that's 4C hair. It says that he has hair like pure wool. Read.
His throne was like a fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
Man, look. So this is the Most High. His hair was like carpet. There ain't no, man, look, listen. I don't mean to prolong this, and I don't mean to try to make it longer than what it needs to be. Everybody knows that Christ came, that Christ is the Son of the Most High. And if Christ is a nigga, his daddy has to be a nigga.
That's right.
Point blank, period. You ain't having no Peckerwood being born from no nigga like that. Christ is a nigga because his father is a nigga. Born from Joseph, which is Mary, who was ordained by the Most High. The Most High sent the angel to talk to, look, listen. That's what it is, man. Look, we ain't finna get too deep into it. Christ is a nigga, his father is a nigga, and that's what it is. And that's what's being explained to you in the book of Daniel, chapter 9. And man, with that, man, we haven't covered everything, but man, we're gonna go ahead and man, we're gonna end this class, and man, we're gonna pass it over to priest and officer Shalomon.
These are the ISUPK security announcements. We have the ISUPK starting out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister come to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves for the world, and if they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6-month period in which the brother and sister record each other. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, as well as the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, which means 10th in the Hebrew, or Meisterat. 10% of any 10% of any increase the Lord gives you, get to the treasury department or teacher. Priest funds, which is a free will offering for a priest, not mandatory and whatsoever amount that you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, we do have the memorial blowing of trumpets coming up on September 21st. You see what I'm saying? Give the Lord a hand. We will be here at 612 South Jones Boulevard in Las Vegas, Nevada. You see what I'm saying? You can contact us on ISUPK Las Vegas on all social platforms if you would like to attend and figure out what it is you could contribute. Or if you just want to come and see exactly how you can properly keep your culture and serve God. We will be here September 21st, congregating all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians that resides in Sin City are highly urged to attend.
That's right.
Outside of the Las Vegas area, I will highly urge you to contact go to ISUPK.com and contact a brother in your zone that's an ISUPK so you can figure out how you can contribute to your high holy day. You see what I'm saying? With that, men of Israel, I might jump, which means to stand in the Hebrew. Stand up. Stand up.
Stand up.
Stand up. We're gonna give one courtesy salute to the teacher. You see what I'm saying? Men of Israel, Shabbat. I might jump. Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat.
Yajamata. Dismissed.